In this lesson, we are going to start our discussion on text functions in DAX. We are going to learn 3 ways to combine text in a Power BI table. Okay, again, we are going to use a sample table, and in the first column, we have the employee key, which is a unique identifier for each employee of a certain company. We have the employee's first name, middle name, last name, and email address, and we are going to use it to start combining text in DAX. I'm going to load it in Power BI. Text functions are iterating functions, which means they work in the row context, and we already learned that in previous videos. And what if I want to use an iterating function in a measure? We learned in previous videos that measures work with aggregation. So naturally, we would mostly use aggregating functions in measures, but there are ways to use iterating functions in measures too. We only have to take care of a few details, and we are going to discuss that later. But right now, as I'm working with iterating functions, I will be working in the row context, which means I will be working with calculated columns. And we have studied all that over our Power Query course, Power Query Fundamentals course, and this DAX course right now. And suppose I want to combine the first name and the last name, the employee's first name and last name. So I'm going to create a new column, and it's a calculated column, and let me call it full name. In DAX, in Power BI, you can have white spaces between words, and I mean for the measures name or the calculated columns name, you can have spaces. I'm saying this because in other programming languages, actually Power BI is not a programming language, but in programming languages, normally you cannot have white spaces between objects names. You would have to have something in the middle, such as an underscore or a dot or something. But in Power BI, you can name measures or calculated columns, and yes, you can have spaces in between, no problem. And to combine these two pieces, in this case, I'm using the first name column and the last name column, I will start using the concatenate function. And the concatenate function is very easy. All you have to do, you have to provide the 2 arguments, and these arguments are the pieces of information you want to combine. And in this case, I'm going to use the first name column, as you know, and we learned that in previous lessons too. As we are working within the same table, we are referring to columns that are already in the same table we're working on right now. So I don't have to type in the table's name because it doesn't make sense. It will be redundant. It would be redundant because we are working in the same table. All I have to do is open my bracket and choose which column in this very same table I want to use. In this case, I want to use the first name, and as we know, a comma to separate arguments, and the second argument will be the employee's last name, and employee's last name, and enter. And now both columns, the content of both columns was combined, but you can see that it's not precisely what you would want, because I don't want the first and last name to be put together with no space in between. I need a space in between. And in this case, I would have to, for example, it's not going to work, but I just wanted to show you that I would put in the middle a white space, and you know, a white space is nothing but a string, and the strings have to come between quotation marks. And again, I'm going to separate each argument with a comma. In this case, I would need an empty space, white space in the middle, and there you go. I would click enter, but wait, you can already see that there's a red squiggly line. It's showing you that something is wrong. Let me press enter, and it says I cannot, it returns me an error because the maximum argument count for the function is 2. It means the concatenate function only takes 2 arguments. And of course, if I need 3 arguments, I cannot use the concatenate function. I'm going to have to use something else. And just before we move on, I want you to know that I don't necessarily have to use only column references. I can also insert my own strings. In this case, I only have, let me additional text. In this case, I still have only 2 arguments. The concatenate function only allows me 2 arguments. And in this case, I have two arguments. Only the first one is a reference to the first name column, and the second, it's a hard-coded argument. And let me hit enter, and you will see that additional text, the hard-coded string I just inserted, was added to the content of the first name column. And in case I needed a space in between, I could add the space here in the beginning of the additional text part. I will give it a space, a white space, and I'll hit enter, and there you go. And you can see that this part, the hard-coded part, this was repeated in each row. And we have seen that before when we are adding fixed numbers or unique text or unique values, whatever, and the row context, this unique value will be repeated row by row. We have already seen that with numbers, but we hadn't seen that with text yet. So now you know that whenever you insert a unique value, a fixed value in the row context, whether a number or a text or a Boolean value, which is false or true, it will be repeated row by row. Hey, a lot of people learn from my videos, but end up forgetting to like and subscribe to the channel. Hitting that like button, subscribing, and leaving a comment really helps YouTube recommend this content to more people, and it lets me know what's working for you. If you'd like to support this project, consider getting the companion datasets for a symbolic price. It's a great way to follow along with the lessons and reinforce your practical skills at the same time. The links are in the description. And let me know in the comments what topics you'd like to see next. I'm always open to new ideas. Okay, let's move on and learn the combine values function. And this function pretty much does the same thing, only it has more features. And using the combine values function, we can choose a delimiter, and this delimiter is going to be used between each piece of information in the following arguments. For example, in this case, I have to start with the delimiter or separator. And in this case, let me use a dash as a separator. This is going to be my first argument. Okay, so this means this dash will separate all of the other parts, all of the other argument that I'm going to pass to the function. And again, I'm going to use the first name column, and as a second argument, the last name column. And that's it. Very, very easy. I will just hit enter, and now you have just what you wanted. The first name separated from the last name with a dash in the middle, which is my separator. If I change the separator and if I use a white space, so automatically the separator will be changed. And please notice that the combined text will be in the same order of your arguments. In this case, if I swap positions, if I put last name first, and let me remove this last comma. So I swap last name and first name, and you will see that the result will be swapped too. So the result will respect the same order as the arguments in your function. And now I can add more pieces. I can add, for example, let me use the email address column. And like I said, the same separator, let me use a different separator. In this case, I'm going to use an asterisk. So the same separator will be repeated in between every pair of arguments. And there you go. So you can see that, let me add the employee key. And just to show you that using this function, I have more than as many arguments, as many pieces of information to combine as I want. The only issue here, in my opinion, this is much better than the concatenate function. Only using this function, you will have the same separator between each pair of arguments. So what if you want to have different separators? If you want a white space between the first pair and then a dash between the second pair. So if you don't want the same separator between each pair of arguments, let's see how to do it. But before, I again want to show you that we don't need to have only references to columns. We can also use our own hard-coded strings, and added string as an example. And there you go. It's going to work only as it's hard-coded. It's a unique value. And we're working in the row context. It's going to be repeated in every row. If you want to have more control over the text combination, you can use a different strategy. Instead of using a DAX function, you are going to use the AND operator. represented by an ampersand. So the ampersand represents the AND operator. And for example, if I want to write Michael, this is going to be a string, and I can do it manually, hard-coded Michael and Harrison. And there you go. So you just put together both pieces using the AND operator, which is represented by an ampersand. And well, in this case, I need a space in between. So I will have to add between quotation marks and a white space. And again, I need another ampersand. And in this case, I'm actually putting together three pieces of information: Michael, the space in between, and Harrison, and it will work just fine. In case I need a different separator between the next part, and again, I will use an ampersand, and now the separator can be, let's say, a dash, and now again an ampersand, and now the next part, last part. And there you go. So we have more control using the AND operator. We only will have a little more work, because as we need more control, there's a price to pay for that. And of course, you can do it instead of hard coding. We can refer to columns. In this name, I want the first name and last name. And I could use, for example, ampersand email is, and then again an ampersand, and now I'm going to refer to the email address, and there you go. So Kim Abercrombie, email is guy1@contoso.com. So I hope you got the idea. These are three quick ways to combine text or combine strings in Power BI. Two of them are using DAX functions, and the other one is just using simple operators. Each of them has advantages and disadvantages, and only your practice and experience will let you know which one works best for you in a given situation. I hope you liked this lesson. If you did, please don't forget to like and leave your comments below. And your comments are very important to let YouTube know this content is helping you, and so YouTube can show this content to other people. See you in the next lesson.